Now, the only locally produced farm radio show with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly cloudy good morning to you. Jonathan Dent sitting in for Terry Henne on this, what's today? Monday. Feels like a Monday. The 22nd of September, with me, Matthew Lester, here, taking a quick look at the Chicago Board of Trade. Shows red pretty much across the board. Soybeans taking a pretty big hit here this morning to start off the week. Corn and wheat following in that downward trend as well. We'll have that market report coming up in just a little bit. First, let's take a look at what our weather's doing. It is the first day of fall, so happy fall to everybody. It's certainly one of my favorite times of year here in Michigan. Leaves changing color. Pretty soon we'll see more and more fields being harvested. Maybe not so much this week, though, as far as outdoors work goes. We've got a wet few days in store. Yesterday was one of those wet days, some cooler temperatures after last week's warmer weather. We only reached 70 for a high out at the airport. That humidity helped us out a little bit, those showers that came through. Out of MBS International, 1/10 of an inch registered in the rain gauge. That humid air and cloud cover stayed overnight, only got down to 61 for a low, but it did give us some fog to contend with to start out our morning this morning. Right now, Matthew, what are we looking at on the thermometer?
Currently, over at the airport, it's partly sunny at 66. Over in Midland, it's cloudy at 72. Here at Radio Center, it's partly sunny, also at 72. We have south winds at 8 miles per hour, and our pressure's at 29.92, and it's steady.
Yeah, those south-southwest winds, a product of a low-pressure system we'll talk about in just a little bit, well to the south and southwest of us. It will get warmer today, 77 our projected high. Will stay gray and rainy, though. The showers we've been seeing this morning developing into a chance for maybe a few thunderstorms here and there this afternoon. Still not very consistent in terms of coverage, though. Maybe 30% coverage over the area. Tonight's pretty much the same, just consistent cloud cover, pop-up showers, a low of 60 degrees overnight. As I mentioned, that main weather driver for us this week, at least over the next couple of days, a low-pressure system that right now is sitting around South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa area, and some unsettled air as a high-pressure system is following it up. As that kind of swings across to the south of us over the next couple of days, it's pushing that precipitation into the region. Tomorrow is much like today, maybe a couple degrees cooler, 75 our projected high, but showers to start off, followed by some scattered thunderstorms in the afternoon. There's a better chance for you to see some rain tomorrow, a little bit better coverage, but only slightly. Still that on-again, off-again stuff that we've been dealing with. Nothing really organized in terms of a system moving through the state. Tomorrow night stays mostly cloudy with continuing showers and a low of 60 degrees. We should get a little break from that precipitation late tomorrow night and much of the day on Wednesday as well. It'll stay cloudy, but we won't see as many of these pop-up precipitation areas. Wednesday looks to be a high of 72 before another round of showers develops into thunderstorm activity overnight. That carries all the way through Thursday as well. That's kind of the last hurrah for this precipitation, though. Friday, skies clear off for the most part. We get back up into the mid-70s, a little bit of sunshine, and that's kind of how we spend the weekend as well. So, bit of a gray and rainy week to start off with today. 77 today's high, as I said. That's the warmest will be at least until Saturday. We could possibly reach up to this high 70s mark again, but gray and cloudy all week long, pop-up showers and storms all the way through. Like I said, nothing super organized, though. That rain, as far as it goes, though, will help us out. Right now, about 2/3 of the lower peninsula is experiencing some kind of dryness or drought. The worst of it is right here in the Great Lakes Bay region and the Northern Thumb. Pretty much all of Isabella and Midland counties are in D2 severe drought, along with big parts of Bay and Saginaw counties and into northern Tuscola and Huron counties as well. So we'll take whatever rain we can get, even if it is just kind of this sustained off and on shower and thunderstorms. It's not going to pull us out of a drought by any means, but we'll take whatever we can get, especially as we get into the fall season here. Our long range outlook takes us through October 5th, and we are looking at below average precipitation during that time and above average temperatures. As I mentioned, the precipitation, though, and the drought conditions, we are slightly above the average precipitation we get for the month of September. We're still a little bit below the yearly average, but for the month of September, we're about 0.3 of an inch above. So everything we get from here through early next week is just a bonus for the month. Our average high for September the 22nd, 71 degrees. Our average low, 49. Our record high set in 2017 was 94 degrees. That was the warmest September 22nd on record. Our record low set in 1999 was 32 degrees. Record precipitation on this date was set in 1986. We think of the flood of 1986 earlier in the month of September, but we did get continuing rainfall throughout the rest of the month as well. And it totaled up, when we look at September of 1986, 16.16 inches for the entire month. A lot of that did come during those first couple of weeks, though, of the month when we had that flooding. It was before my time, but I'm sure many of you out there can remember that. We'll have more on that weather forecast as we move on through the program. Coming up, Matthew, who are we talking to?
Coming up next, we have Gary Kaufman from Star of the West, and we also have Doug Klein from Oppenheimer.
All the market news coming up, but first, the weather report today brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Hi, folks. This is Terry Henne. You know, if you've got an aging roof, don't even think about replacing it, at least not before you call my friend Ben at Roof Max. Now, Roof Max, it's a revolutionary treatment that restores flexibility and extends the life of your roof. And it saved me thousands of dollars and a big headache. You know, it's safe, it's quick, it comes with a 5-year transferable warranty, and you're working with some really reliable folks. I've seen it myself, and I trust it. Just like you maintain your equipment, your roof needs care too, and Roof Max delivers. Call Ben at 989-859-6751. That's 989-859-6751, or head on over to askbenhow.com. Schedule your free roof assessment just like I did. Remember, Roof Max, askbenhow.com, because a little care today can save you a whole lot more tomorrow.
Time for our market report today. I mentioned a little bit earlier on, I'm seeing red across the board, at least with the numbers that I'm looking at. We're going to head over to Star of the West. We say happy Monday and good morning to Gary Kaufman. Gary, how we doing?
Hey, good morning there, Charlie. I'm doing okay, but Chicago's having a tough day.
Yeah, I'm noticing that. I saw soybeans down quite a bit, and now I'm looking at wheat too. What's going on?
Yeah, the soybean futures are extending their price kind of collapse to a fourth day, Charlie. Lower here to start the new week. So, thus far posting kind of an ugly double-digit plunge here following a 12-cent drop on Friday. And basically some of the rumor news is that Argentina has decided to suspend their grain export tax through October, which, if this is true, would would make Argentina offers for soybeans to China more appealing from an economic viewpoint. And as of late last week, the U.S. Gulf export prices were the most affordable in the world. They were about 25 cents a bushel lower than what Argentina prices were. But again, we're going to continue to watch any news on China and U.S. as far as a trade deal moving forward. But right now, between harvest pressure and the Argentina news, is got soybeans down double digits. Of course, corn is being pressured by the downward movement in soybeans. And then we'll have our crop progress report here this afternoon after the close, and they're expecting corn to be potentially 15% harvested through yesterday. And wheat, basically, the growing or supply of world wheat is continuing to weigh on the market a little bit, along with corn and soybeans being down. But as we approach here for the rest of the month, we're going to be looking at that small grains report on wheat on the 30th, and then we're going to be watching wheat planted acres as we move forward as well. But tough week, tough day to start the week, but it's a lot of red on the board, Charlie.
Absolutely. So right now, Gary, what do you got on the board?
Yeah, let's call cash wheat down 9 right now. That puts the white at 489, the red at 414. New crop for 2026 also down 9 at 544 on the white, 459 on the red. Cash and new crop corn down a nickel at 354, and cash and new crop soybeans down 15 at 926.
Good stuff, Gary. Thank you very much. We'll talk with you again, and hopefully some better news next time.
Yeah, let's hope so. Yeah, thanks, Charlie.
Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. The market report today brought to you by Thumb Bank and Trust, working with agriculture since 1895. Farming today continues to have challenges, and Thumb Bank and Trust keeps up with those challenges and helps you keep up with the industry trends and changes in your operation. Thumb Bank and Trust, now in Freeland and 13 locations across the Thumb and Great Lakes Bay region. Thumb Bank and Trust, where relationships are built on trust. Once again, Jonathan Dent filling in for Terry Henne here this morning. We're going to head over to Oppenheimer, say good morning to Doug Klein. Doug, good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Happy fall.
Yeah, let's go with that. It's all good. The Dow Jones hit a new high, the S&P hit a new high, the NASDAQ hit a new high, gold hit an all-time high also, $3,735 an ounce, up almost $60. Silver's at a 1-year high, so that's hanging in there pretty good. That's up over $1. The same old though. The food stocks are having trouble. Obviously, the grains are having trouble. There's no buyers. They just look at it and go, "Who wants to be the first one to throw money at something heading down?" So. We're going to have to wait that one out. Hopefully she changes pretty soon. I saw that U.S. Steel was thinking about shutting down their Granite City steel mill, cold rolled steel, and that was the Nippon merger that Trump approved back in the day. And he basically stepped up to the plate and said, "You're not shutting this baby down because we made a deal. You're not shutting it down." So they changed their mind. They're not going to shut it down. So I guess he is good for something. So here's your numbers. December corn is 418 3/4, down 5 1/4. March corn 436 1/4, down 5. The November soybeans 1011 1/2, down 14. January soybeans 1031, down 13 3/4. December wheat 512, down 10 1/2, and March wheat 531 1/4, down 9 1/2. The crude oil 61.80, down 18 cents. Heating oil is 228.83, down 1/2 penny. Gasoline 191.51, up 1/4 penny. Natural gas is 3.11, that's down 8 cents. The currencies: Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar buys $1.3810 Canadian, that's up by 30 ticks. The dollar buys 147.83 yen, down 11 ticks. The euro's at 117.72, up 28 ticks, and the dollar's at 97.47, down 17 ticks. Precious metals all up today. Gold is at $37.3570, up $59.70. Silver is $43.78, up $1.20. Platinum is $14.39.10, up $7.30. And lonely old copper is $469.90. That is unchanged so far today.
All right, Doug, thank you very much. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
All right. Sounds good. See ya.
See ya. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Rob Stoutenberg from Michigan Sugar Company.
Farm Service brought to you today by the Emil Rummel Insurance Agency. You know, they understand the risks that you face as a Michigan farm and an agribusiness owner. They also know that each farm's needs vary like the crops in the field. They know you're more than a number. At the Rummel Agency, they know you have a family, goals, dreams for the future, and that these things are really important to you. That's why they want to get to know you one-on-one so they can help get the right farm insurance protection for you and your family. The Rummel Insurance Agency. You're no stranger to the risk involved when it comes to a big or a small farm and your income. Visit them today in Frankenmuth, Saginaw, and Carroll. The Rummel Insurance Agency.
Soil prep for next year begins as soon as the harvest is over. Don't miss out on nutrients you can return to your soil. Applying a Dairy Dew compost blend accelerates the conversion of crop stubble into next year's plant food. That remaining plant material is full of nutrients that you want to return to the soil. Dairy Dew blends from Morgan Composting, like K2, Gypsum Plus, and Layer Ash Blend with Gypsum, helps with decomposition, releasing those nutrients for next year's crops while also adding good biology and other missing nutrients to your soil. Like a lot of things right now, supplies are limited, so contact Morgan Composting to place your order for fall and lock in your price now. Crops don't wait. The seasons don't wait. You shouldn't wait. Address soil health now for better yields next year. Not sure which is the best Dairy Dew compost blend for your fields? Contact a soil health expert at Morgan Composting for a consultation and soil testing. Call today or visit dairydew.com to learn more.
Heading over to Michigan Sugar Company now, we say good morning to agronomist Rob Stoutenberg. Rob, how are we doing today?
Pretty good. Can't complain. We actually got some precipitation out there, so I'll take all we can get right now.
Absolutely. We've got a little bit more coming up this week, so we'll take what we can get. What's going on at Michigan Sugar nowadays?
Oh, we're still in the early dig, and guys are trying to, if they have a difficult field, trying to get it out. Some of those fields really don't store the best in the piles, whereas other guys are, just digging all they can. So it's going good. We're still in early dig. Kind of crazy that October's creeping up on us. That means storage season or harvest permanent pile is going to be up upon us soon, but time's rolling fast.
Still pretty early, but what are we seeing for this year's harvest?
The last I saw, we're sitting at a rolling average of about 24 ton. And what factors into that? Some guys are getting their challenging fields out of there that might have lower yield. So right now that number's looking pretty good. Sugar, I haven't looked this morning, but I know last week we were doing pretty good. The drought kind of affects that. It dries the beet down, so you have a higher sugar content. But heading into the season, I like what I'm seeing.
Good stuff. What are we looking forward to next? Is it just harvest and piling?
Yep, that's what my main focus is on, wrapping up the early dig here in the next couple of weeks and focusing on storage to make sure we have the best quality beets we can have going into a pile.
All right, Rob, thank you very much. We'll check in with you again next week.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Agronomist Rob Stoutenberg with Michigan Sugar. That report brought to you by Foster Blue Water Oil. Foster Blue Water Oil and Blue Flame Propane take you to the top for more power, faster cold starts, maximum lubricity, and up to 8% improved fuel economy. Go with Extreme Diesel from Power Service. Visit them online at fosteroil.com or blueflamepropaneinc.com. Contact your sales representative or call today to learn more about quality products and services to keep you moving forward. Foster Blue Water Oil, supplying fuel, propane, lubricants, diesel, exhaust fluid, and energy services for over 80 years. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be talking with Vic Hupfer from Freeland Bean and Grain.
Need tree trimming? How about tree removal? You need Legendary Tree Care. No job is too big, no job is too small. They're fully licensed and insured, and they specialize in big projects. legendarytreecare.com, or like them on Facebook. They're there when you need them.
Powerlift Hydraulic Doors. Ever heard of them? Powerlift Hydraulic Doors is the largest hydraulic door manufacturer in North America, manufacturing and installing hydraulic doors for over 30 years. Covering the entire state of Michigan, we can custom design your new door up to 150 feet by 45-foot clear opening. We can fit your airplane hangar, agricultural shed, industrial or commercial structure with a strong, reliable, and high-performance door. Nothing beats a Powerlift hydraulic door built right here in Marlette, Michigan. Our custom hydraulic doors are designed for your toughest jobs.
Hi, I'm Andy. The price we give you is the installed price, and you deal with us from the beginning to the end. To schedule your Powerlift door consultation, call 989-635-8017 and ask for Andy, or visit powerliftdoorsmi.com. Powerlift Hydraulic Doors of Michigan. When you need it done right, we lift you above the rest.
And we're back with more here on Farm Service 790 and 100.5. We are heading over to Vic Hupfer now with Freeland Bean and Grain. Vic, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, how are we doing today? I heard a little bit of corn had been being brought in. What are you seeing out there?
Well, we haven't received any yet. I'm not certain which elevators are seeing that around us. I haven't heard anybody locally that's done any corn. I think with the weather being a little bit wet, some guys are looking at they can't do soybeans because the moisture level that we're seeing in the field, much less the humid weather and rainy weather. So I'm not surprised that some guys are thinking about doing corn. But like I said, outside of that, I haven't seen anything or heard anybody that's tested any samples yet. But I'm not surprised with the weather forecast the way it is, that because guys can do corn in pretty much any kind of condition. So
absolutely. So what are we looking forward to? Is it the focus on corn here as things are going to be on and off damp?
Well, I think if the weather's going to be like that, we're going to see some guys, because they figure they can just get some work done, stay ahead of the curve a little bit. Some of your bigger farmers that have quite a few acres, if the moisture level's not too wet, I can see them taking it with the cost of what it costs to produce it. I can't see anybody taking it extremely wet. I think if guys are harvesting corn, it's got to be under 22 before, especially if they don't have their own dryer system, because it's just too costly to harvest it. But outside of that, most of the other harvests are progressing along nicely. I would say as far as black beans that we take, I would guess that we're probably pushing 50% done. I would say we're getting close to 50% done as a whole. There's some farmers haven't even hardly started yet, and then there's other farmers that have already finished. So usually when you get to that point, and based on what we've taken in to our storage, I would say dry bean harvest is about 50% done. We have seen a few soybeans come off here and there that are ready. I haven't heard any yield data to know what's going on with that. But the way they looked, I think they would be pretty good. Dry beans, as far as yields, I've heard all over the board. Right in this area here around the Freeland area, going out into the Thumb, out into Fairgrove, I've heard average yields maybe slightly above. You go north a little further, Auburn and on up to Standish, I've heard mixed yields. I've heard some yields that are better. I've heard some yields that are about the same as what they are around here. So I would say if I had to peg harvested dry beans, it's probably slightly above average as far as yields are this year. Most of the beans have been sprayed with a defoliant, so they're pretty much ready to go. There's a few left to do. In fact, I'm out looking at a field right now that's still a few days away before it's ready to spray. But a lot of wheat, a fair amount of wheat's getting started planted. I think guys that typically are going to stay similar to their rotations on wheat. I don't think we're going to see nearly as many acres going as last year. Talking to some of the seed guys, I think it's a little bit more limited to how much they're going to plant, just because the price is not reflecting as well. So, but outside of that, not much else to report. Urea prices are starting to come down, which could have an impact on 28%. We've seen some softening in the urea market at the Gulf. and which that could make a difference on some of those prices. So we're looking at some pretty nice reprieves when it comes to nitrogen as far as where we've been. So it could be and could be a little nicer going here towards the end of the year.
Good stuff for planning for next year, especially. Thank you very much, Vic, and we'll talk to you again.
You bet.
Vic Hupfer with Freeland Bean and Grain. Got one more talk, I think. We've got Jerry Samalski with Bay Landscaping and Garden Center. Jerry, good morning.
Good morning.
What are we looking at?
Have you been looking at your lawn and getting that fertilized yet?
You know, I'm not very good at keeping up on that, Jerry. Is now the time?
Now is probably the best money you're going to spend on your lawn all year is this late fall fertilizing. So even if you don't fertilize regularly, if you just want to do a little bit of lawn care, much better now than in the spring. Everybody thinks they need to fertilize in the spring to get it going. Well, you can get it going in the spring right now by fertilizing, putting it to bed with a lot of energy and good deep roots as it begins to cool down, and it'll wake up and be ready to go and help with weed suppression by having thick, healthy turf now. Even more so that, people talk about overseeding. You really don't need to. Let's just get some fertility down, get that grass to grow. And most our grasses are rhizomatous. So they're going to spread and fill and thicken up. So if we fertilize, that's going to do a better job with less money than trying to overseed.
Is the rain going to help or hurt us this week if we're fertilizing?
Oh, it's going to be wonderful. That's beautiful. We got between 6 and 7 tenths here yesterday. So actually last night, because it didn't rain much for us during the day, but it's a great rain. We need about one of those every day for a week, and we'll be in good shape.
Good stuff, Jerry. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you again.
Yes, sir.
Jerry Samalski with Bay Landscaping and Garden Center. We'll be right back.
If you're looking at Carhartt, if you're looking for Red Wing shoes and boots, what about Stormy Chrome or accessories? All available today at Ed Raymond & Sons. Quality clothing and shoes since 1919 at 151 West Broad Street in Chesaning. Open 7 days. Brought to you today by the folks at Michigan Truck Spring of Saginaw, your complete parts and service headquarters for light, medium, and heavy-duty trucks and trailers, as well as buses and recreational vehicles. Quality parts and service at very competitive prices for well over 45 years. 800-358-4751 or buy online at truckspring.com. And don't forget, they're open Monday through Friday till 11 p.m.
We were talking a little bit about the rain we're going to be getting, on and off shower and thunderstorm activity here this afternoon and all the way into tomorrow. Maybe a little bit of a break from this precipitation Tuesday night into Wednesday, but then it's right back to it until Friday. We'll have an update on the weather and the markets at the bottom of the hour. For now, we'll conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem, brought to you by Euclid Avenue Coins in Bay City.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton,